Hello everyone and welcome to Rogue Tutorials. My name is Klutz450 and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how you can play Super Mario Bros. 35 online on the Continued Interest custom server using the Ryujinx Emulator. I'm going to do my best to put all the links needed in the description below, but you can also get all these links in the Continued Interest Discord, which I will also leave an invite link below. Please join us there for our weekly tournaments and for any issues or questions or help you may need. So, without further ado, let's get into it. The reason why I'm creating this video tutorial is because on the SMB35server.com website, we do have instructions on how to play with the emulator with Ryujinx, but these are pretty much out of date, and the person that maintains this website is MIA for right now. I do hope that he comes back soon. But until then, just follow along with this video and the instructions in the Discord, and you will have no problems. So here I am in the Discord, in the software discussion channel, and we're going to need the Ryujinx emulator. So go ahead, you can click the link here or go to ryujinx.org. It'll take you here and you can hit download. I'm on a Windows computer, so I'm going to go ahead and click on Windows. And I'm going to download this to my download folder. Now that it's downloaded, it needs to be unzipped. I use a program called 7-Zip to unzip, but you can use whatever one you'd like. I'm going to right click, I'm going to go 7-Zip, and I'm going to extract it here. That's going to put this publish folder here. You can delete the zip file. And I'm going to rename this to Ryujinx. And inside, these are all the files you need for the Ryujinx emulator. Now, I will reiterate that I'm doing this on a brand new install. You can do this on your main version of Ryujinx if you're already using it. But I would recommend, just for the purposes of setup for the first time, do it on a new install, because I would hate to have you guys follow my video and it like messes up your setting or something. So do it on a separate install first. And if you know what you're doing and you understand what's going on, then you can merge everything over. All right, so with that disclaimer out of the way, the other thing we're going to need is the SMB35 files. So you can either use the mega link here, or you can just use the portable.zip. The only difference between the two is that this one here has a short video showing what you need to do. So I'm going to go ahead and click this one since it has more stuff in it. Go ahead, click download. Click save and open it up. So this time I'm going to right click 7-Zip and I'm going to extract it to its own folder. I'm going to delete that. And then let me open this up in a new window. So here it provides you with a link to the download link for Ryujinx. It has some pictures, just kind of showcasing you have to be on version 1.0.2, you have to use the Vulkan backend, and you have to have guest internet access shown. It also has this, like I said, this little video here kind of showing you what you need to do. I mean, if you know what you're doing, this is all you need. You can stop watching me. I will not be offended at all. But if you are sticking around, you need to take this portable folder and put it inside your Ryujinx folder. Now that that's there, you can go ahead and open up Ryujinx. First time you open it up, it may take a while. You're going to get this console here. You can just ignore that. And here we go. Now we have Ryujinx. And it says that the keys are not found. So In order to use the Ryujinx emulator, you're going to need two things. One, you're going to need this prod.keys file, as well as you're going to need the firmware for the switch, both of which you're only going to be able to legally obtain from your own switch that you have hacked and dumped yourself. The purposes of this video is not to go that deep into how to hack your Switch and how to get these files. There's plenty of other tutorials out there. So once you get this message, you can go ahead and click OK and close out of Ryujinx, because now that we ran it, it did its first initialization and put some folders and stuff here. So in your system folder is where you're going to need to place your prod.keys. So I have mine, let's see, I have mine right here. So I'm going to drag and drop it here. The other thing you're going to need, like I said, is your firmware file. Now, the firmware file, you can get that by dumping the firmware from your Switch yourself, or you can use a Switch game that has the firmware files on it. So I'm going to actually use Super Mario Brothers Wonder is the latest Switch game that I have dumped, and we're going to use that to get the firmware file off of. So when you're ready to go, double click on Ryujinx again to open it. This time it opens up just a little bit faster. And as you can see, we are no longer getting that error talking about the prod.keys file, but our firmware version is still 0.0. So to install the firmware, you're going to want to go to Tools, Install Firmware, and install firmware from an XCI or zip. So you have to make sure that the game that you're getting the firmware from is a .xci. So I'm going to go ahead and browse to that location. Give it a minute to read the file. And it says install firmware 16.0.3. Do you want to continue? Click yes. And now it's installing the firmware. Firmware successfully installed 16.0.3. Next thing you're going to want to do now is you're going to want to get your Super Mario 35 games into Ryujinx. So what I like to do to keep everything in one spot, I will create a games folder. You don't have to do this, but this is what I like to do. And you want to move your Super Mario Brothers 35 NSP file here. You will need this update file as well, but you don't need to put it in the games folder. So now that it's in your games folder, go ahead to Ryujinx, hit Options, go to Settings, and then for game directories, you want to add that games directory that that we just added. Click Select Folder, click Apply, and click OK. Now it's here, but you see it says version 1.0.0. In order to update it, just right-click, go to Manage Title Updates, click Add. Now browse to where the update file is. So here is my update.nsp. Open that and click Save. Now your update is applied. And then lastly, you're going to want to set up some other things inside of here. So let's go to Options, go to Settings. You want to go to Input, and you're going to want to set up your controller. I'm using an Xbox One S controller over Bluetooth, so I'm going to go ahead and choose that. Profile Default and Pro Controller. And everything should just be mapped. So hit Apply. The other things you're going to want to change is the system, doesn't really matter here. CPU doesn't really matter. Graphics, you need to make sure that the graphics backend is Vulkan. Don't need to do anything here. And network, you want to make sure that guest internet access LAN mode is enabled. So once all that's done, hit apply, hit OK, and now you're ready to game. So actually, I'm sorry, there's one more thing that you're going to want to change. Go to Options, go to Manage User Profiles, and here is where you can set up your own profile. If you don't do this, when you play online, you're going to show up as Ryu Player. So just click the plus right here, choose the nickname that you want to be shown while you're playing. I'll do Klutz450, and set a profile image. You can either import your own image or you can select a firmware avatar. So if you wanted to select Mario, you can do that. Or I like to use my the nerd is my homeboy picture that I use for everything right here. So there we go. So now that's uploaded, and hit save. And then make sure you click on it once so that your name is highlighted in blue, and click close. Now we can double click on Mario 35. Now the first time it loads up, it's going to take a little bit, as well as it may be a little jittery while you play. But subsequent times that you load it up and play, it should go a lot faster. And I'm going to lower my volume before this gets way too loud. All right, that should be good. So I'm using my Xbox controller. Everything works just fine. If you want to go full screen, you can go to Options and hit Toggle Full Screen. You can also check this box so that way whenever you start the game, it'll automatically go on full screen. So let's go full screen here. Actually, I don't want full screen just yet because I want to show you that I'm actually connected. So if we were to go back to, so now I'm in a lobby looking for people. If I were to go back to this continued interest, SMB35server.com, and you click on the dashboard here, you can see that I am in fact matchmaking right now. Just to further prove that this works and that you can play between emulator and Switch, let me load up my Switch. And I'm going to go under my son's account, so this way you're not seeing my name twice in the matchmaking lobby. And let's see. Here it goes. So there you see, there's Lucas. So, and then if I go back to the emulator, you can see that the two of us are here. So let's go to full screen. Let's let this timer time out, and I will show you that this actually works. Unfortunately, since I don't have anyone else to really play with, it's going to be a very short session because time will run out on the Switch. But this is just to prove to you that it works. Here we go. And you're going to play this just like you always did. So it's a little jittery at first, and that's because it has to load up all the shaders and resources and whatever you need to. I'm not very technical with what's going on behind the scenes, but I do know that this little bit of lag and jitteriness is not going to be permanent. And time ran out on my Switch, which is why I won. So, yeah. So that is Ryujinx in a nutshell. If you join our Discord, we can go into further detail to show you how to use this dashboard page, how to log in, and you can inject enemies and bots and do all kinds of other fun things that you weren't able to do on the original version. Um, so I believe I covered it all. If there's anything that I miss that you're unsure of, or you need some clarification, or just want me to sit down with you and walk you through it step by step, feel free to reach out. Let me know. Reach out in the Continued Interest Discord, and there'll be plenty of people willing to help you out. And with that, I thank you for watching. Have a good day.